how he's been able to put up with Ken, I don't know, but he was able to do that, and I think he had the same vision that Ken had on this after Ken was in his office probably a couple dozen times in 2 weeks. And he talked to me about it in that it related to me because when my son was about 7 years old, we took our own lawnmowers down to the Lutz Field area and that whole area, and we had to chop down the weeds so that the kids could play soccer. And Mike had the vision for that kids were going to be all over playing soccer, which you see now. And when he saw this game, he said the same thing. It's going to be big, and it's going to be something that we all should be part of. And so Mike had the vision and was able to help us out and get us there. So thank you, Michael. Then we'll go back to one of our players, and Tom Melander, who is part of the Apex Foundation Board and been volunteering there. So please welcome Tom.
Yeah, I'm Tom Melander, and I'm with the Apex Foundation, and I play pickleball. Margaret and I started playing in 2011, and as everybody signed the list that Ken, when he first sees you, he asks for your name, address, all those things. I think we were number 10 and 11. And what are we up to now? 5,000?
4,156, but who's counting?
Okay. Wow. Okay. But, so we went to the Apex Center, and Margaret said she had seen this sign about pickleball, which sounded really strange to me, but I thought, okay, I'll go along. And we go to walk into the gym, and as we're walking in those front doors that you first get there, we see these two guys coming out, and one's pushing the other one in a wheelchair with his leg up. Well, Ken is pushing Tom Carney out of the gym. Tom had hurt himself. And I looked at Margaret and said, "Sure about this?" And she said, "No, we gotta go, gotta go." I said, "Well, we'll also go if you really want to go. You know, like we can leave if you need to leave." But we stayed, and we're still there. But in talking with Ken, I told him that I was on the Apex Foundation and that we raise money for things for Apex. And so he says, "Well, I need to talk to you. I want to build some courts." I said, "Well, how much you talking about here, Ken?" And he started talking like things in 6 figures. I said, "Well, that's kind of above us, but I need to introduce you to a guy named Mike Miles. And I don't know if Mike's forgiven me yet. I wanted to say, if he was here, I was going to ask for forgiveness. But anyhow, that ended up really working well, and I, I wanted to warn Mike, saying, "Hey, this guy's going to come talk to you," and he had already been there. Imagine that. In 2012, Apex applied for a grant from Jefferson County Open Space for 8 outdoor courts up there at Sims, and they needed some seed money to get started, and there was the first annual pickleball tournament, and that's what my shirt is here, is the first annual, and they raised $5,300, and so the foundation, we matched that $5,300, and that's what they really needed to show Open Space that there's a serious organization here behind us. We had people, and we had money, and we had organization, and it just kind of helped get things started. Along with our president, Rich Garamoni, writing a letter and explaining that we were supportive of this whole program. So we play different roles, and then we had the Pickleball for Heroes tournament. I don't know if I trust this guy. And to make the donations work, we had to run it through some nonprofit 501c3. So the foundation agreed to do that to help raise money, and that worked for a couple of years. And now the money goes directly to the Craig Hospital, or does it go to Craig, Ashley, or their foundation?
Hospital Foundation.
Okay. So that so we kind of served as that gap group to just be able to keep this thing going, and it was really good to do. Sure can. Okay, so we just did different things to help things go along here. I used to go over to Ken's place about 4 times a week to help him count checks there for 1 year, and then the Apex Foundation, Apex had some out-of-pocket expenses, and so we helped reimburse Apex for those, which I think helped Apex itself. And so now things are just off and rolling really good. Money's going straight to Craig, and it's just a great organization. So that's it. Thank you.
What do we got?
Well, he's got 5.
He's got 5.
I'll put 5 in.
He's got 5. 10.
We've got 5, 9,
5, 9, 9. Oh, does
That's
that
what
mean
that makes.
that?
6,000.
Come on, somebody can do that one.
6,000.
We're all the way up to $6,000. All right, here we go. We got some more. We were going right up over top of that. Throw it in the kitty over there.
Oh.
And we have
That makes it 20.
another speaker just showed up here. Hi, Tom.
How are you?
Roads are wonderful, right? All right, we're going to move on to another player who, Bob West, was employee of the Apex and is a board member of the Jefferson County Open Space, and that's where we got a lot of our money from. So thank you, Bob, and please welcome Bob.
I told everybody that's hungry that I'll make this quick. So who's next?
I like this guy.
In the fall of 2012, when I was the CFO of the district, I'm working on our annual budget. And this guy comes and sticks his head in my door and he says, "I'm Ken, and I just got done talking to Mike, and he says, you're the guy I need to talk to get some money." And I said, "What are we talking about?" And he says, "Pickleball." Okay, what the hell is pickleball? So he explained it to me. And I thought, well, okay, we'll see what we can do. Mike came in my office about an hour later and says, "Did you get rid of that little guy?" And I said, well, it sounded like it was a pretty good idea. So we figured out, we'd already kind of done our capital budgeting for the year 2012, and we decided to rework some stuff, take some money out of reserves, and then Mike says, how much can we get out of open space? Well, I'm the recreation representative for the entire county for Jefferson County Open Space. Now, just as an aside, a lot of people don't know what Jefferson County Open Space is, but every time you spend $1 in Arvada or anywhere in Jefferson County, a half a cent goes to open space. And open space over a year's time will raise $38 to $40 million. And that's why we have all of our open space parks and stuff. And a lot of that money goes back to let's make areas useful. The original start of putting money into recreation was to put grass under kids' feet. Well, we put some concrete under some old poop's feet. So anyway, the first year we put in $158,000. They came with a request. And my job as open space, I was kind of biased. And I was able to convince everybody that pickleball is going to be a really cool thing. So then the next year, and we did the first 8 courts. And when we had the grand opening, we had half of OSAC, the advisory committee, there, and they were all playing the game, and they all loved it. So the next year when we went back for $225,000 to do the next 8 courts, not a problem. Everybody was excited. Well, you don't want to get too piggish and go to the trough too often. So we took a year off. And the next year, you know, I was already, had left the district, and Mike says,